Hello everybody, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. 515 puzzles solved now, but we are right in the thick of the non-boxy region. Let's see what's going on here. Precision 4, non-boxy. Well, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then it can't be that because that's a box, so we go 1 over. 1, 2, 3. Can't be that because that's a box, go 1 over. 1, 2, 3. Can't do that because that leaves a 1-er, so that goes there. That goes there. And then we're pretty set on how the rest of this goes, I think. There's a T there, that there, that there, that there. Easy. Easy puzzles. Non-boxy precision 4. You have to go to here. And that's all the definite start we get. My eyes immediately go to something like this. But we can't have this be a box, so my gut sense was no good. This can't be a 2x2. That can't be a straight line. So I think that means that has... No, that can't exist because that can't do that. How can we get out of here without a box? Like this, perhaps? Nope. Right, this can't exist because we have to get out of here as a box. This can't exist because that can't be straight down for 4. So I need this to exist in that corner, at least. That looks better. Can we fill in the rest? We absolutely can. Good. Non-boxy, precision 4 with roses. Right, you're coming out to there. You have a huge selection of things to choose from, which is frightening. Let's just do some counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs. 9 times 4 is 9, 18, 27, 36. There are 36 tiles in the grid, so every group must be a red, a blue, and 2 empty cells. But they can't be boxy. So that can't do that. This can't touch that one. Can't touch that one because those are both too boxy. Therefore, this guy gets you. Put a box around it. That means this gets you because you can't make it out to any other red. Put a box around it. That means you are going to get that one. We can't do this, so we have to do that. Put a box around it. That, put a box around it. This is going well. This can only make it to that blue. Can't go this way because we end up with negative space. Put a box around it. Then I'm just looking at what remains. Smooth. 7 on a grid of 28 with precision 4 means that everything must be 1 and its extras. This can't do that. So therefore, it can't do that because that gets stuck with this. So does it have to be this T? Can't be that. Can't be that. I think it must be that T. Which means that must pick up that one, that must pick up that one, and that one at least. If you pick up that, this now can't exist because he would have to pick up those into a box. So close. Put a box around that. You have to come out to here and do that, which means you have to come out to there and do that and one more. You can't do that. How do we do this edge? You can't go straight left. So you must come down. We could do that instead. Except that makes that into a straight edge. So that's no good. So that felt right. There it is. Right, you have one edge, therefore you must be open on that side and that side and that side. You make a cup. It's non-boxy and precision 4, so put a box around it. This can't do that and that because this becomes a box. Therefore, that is going to do some version of this and this. But it can't be that. It has to be this. And this one could go that way or that way. But we must get that. Which I think has to do some version of this. Nope. How can this be true? You've got 2. But you can't be a 4 box. These double corner pieces keep tripping me up in places. Am I happy about this? You can't be a 4. Therefore, this line must exist. You, therefore, get no other lines and must exist like that. And you must exist like that. And we can't have boxes, so you have to go up 1. You are either going across 1 or up 1, but I'm not sure which means this line must exist. Which means, oh, can we do that to make both of those happy? It seems that we can. That must go that way. That must be a T. That must be another T. This is going to be a T, but I'm not sure which orientation it's going to take. That just has to be the point. Like, it's either that, or that, or that is one of them. Does that have to be that? But I'm not sure if I can make this be a dead end in that case. I can make it be a dead end in that case. Cool, we're up to 29 of 33 for gold. Okay, non-boxy Delta Geminis. There's no size limits on any of this. If this is 2... Now, here's the thing. We have to be non-boxy, but this and this have to be different while being the same as that. How do I do that? If this is 3, this could be 3, that could be 4, that could be 4. Except it seems like it's going to make more sense for the 3s to be on this side. Except this... no, this can't... We're non-boxy, so I can't leave this as a 2 box. So, this can't be a 1, it can't be a 2, it must be at least a 3. This can't be a 1, it can't be a 2, it must be at least a 3, but one of them must be at least a 4. If it's this way, I don't see how I can make these both equal a 4 without that being there. So if that's a 4 and that's a 4, and that's a 3, and that's a 3, I could do 5 there, 5 there, but this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This can't do that because this can't be a box on the bottom lane. So I don't know what to do with that. And now, for all of that, I don't know what to do. These have to be different, so these have to be different. It must be at least this. But I don't know what to do about this guy being different than... This being the same, but this being different. Can't be a T. That's better. So that keeps chevron, chevron, chevron equal. Z, Z. Big guy, big guy. This is different. This can be the same. And that goes there. Super. You're not for my brain right now. Non-boxy Polyominoes. So this is going to be that, so that we can put a 3 in behind it, because otherwise, if it went the other way, we'd have a 1, which would be a box. Then this can't be that, because it leaves a 3. Therefore, it must be that, which leaves a chevron instead of a straight 3. There's basically only a couple of ways this can go. And that's the one that we get there. This, I think I looked at and hated. This, I didn't really spend a great deal of time looking at. Two more. So we've got those 2. The 7 up there. That 4. This 4. Any more for any 4? We did you. Nothing hiding in there. Nothing else hiding up here. Alright, I don't think there's any extras hiding in spots we haven't seen. Let's revisit this. Let's scratch all of that off so I'm not re-influenced by what I've already done. So that's our 3. This is 8, 10, 9, and 10. The 8 is the smallest, therefore will have the most confines. Can it be done in any way that's not this? Well, that can't be because of that. I think that's the only way that can be done. So we can lock those in. 10, 9, 10. Should we do the 9 next? It'd have to be a 5 and a 4. Except the 4 has to be one that's not either of these. And it can't be the square. So it would be the T. Any others that we can do? I don't think so. We've got 10 and 10. If we can do those out of 2 different... well, if we could do a 6 and a 4, that would be nice. It would just be what 4 haven't we used yet? We can't use the straight, we can't use the square. T, Z, L... I don't know, there is another one. Can't use the straight, can't use the square. T, L, Z. I think we've had them all. Which means we need groups of 5. But not this 5, because we used that up here. That makes the chevrons, the giant chevrons, be the same. That's a box. I like this shape. It means this has to be reworked. Nice. Lovely. 32 of 33. Problem I had with this last time was just trying to see something that kind of defined itself as initial logic that was like certain for our opening move. I think the 6 being the largest, can get to those, can't go to there, can't go to there. So therefore it must take this one and draw that line. This could go all the way to there. That could go all the way to there. But if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we must take either that one or that one. And then it's just a bunch of 5s around the place. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And a 5 spare. We can't do a 4 and a 1 spare. How do we do this cell? How do we do this cell? If this is part of a group of 5 that's not associated with another specific 5, then we'd have to get this and this to be in full regions first. That can't be that. Can't be that, because that must get out to here. That can't go there. And it can't go there. I don't love this. Because it feels like we're gearing up to make, at best, an area of 3. And we can't have an area spare of 2, which would be a domino. So back to this 6. At most, it can stretch out there, which means it must come down to here, and one of those. So this must contain this. It can vary on what else it contains, but it must contain that. And in fact, well, if this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that leaves an area of 3 still. But the math ain't mathing on a spare area of 3. Because 36 minus 6 is 30, minus 25 is 5. A 3 and a 2 can't exist, and a 4 and a 1 can't exist, so the spare 5 must be 5 altogether. How can this make 5 without breaking this 6 in a way that allows the other 5s to get out? Because like this 5 can go 1, 2, 3, 4, can't go there, can't go there, would have to be that. That means this 5 would go 1, 2, 3, can't do that, 4, 5. Which means this would have to go 1, 2, 3, not that, 4, not that, 5, which leaves that as a 2, which can't exist. Therefore, this must go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. But it can't, because this 5 here, if it takes up 1, 2, 3, 4, can't do that one, can't do that one, so that 5 must go to there. Or it could go up further. But it must take at least this one. So this 5 takes those. This 5, 1, 2, 3, no, 4. But that leaves that. So you take an extra one of those. That leaves a 3. You take one of those. That leaves a 4. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is my additional group of 5. But it can't be. Because this 5 needs a 5th, which blocks in the 6th. Oh, God. One, 2, 3, 4 no, 4, 5 no. You must take that. This is a must. Can we do that in just other places? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 could work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that would block that in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. The bits of logic I feel like I'm getting here are so thin. Such very thin logic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Therefore, this must take that. And one more. Which means that must be a line. Are any of these 5s... Hold on. Okay. Ask a fresh question here. Ask a fresh question. Are any of these 5s in the same zone, giving me more freedom to fill up other gaps? There's got to be something going on here. The 6 must come out because of these problems. So it's the 2 in the bottom right corner that I'm most concerned with. I mean, that can do that, but this can't come out past itself. This can't do that because of that rule. That can reach over to there. That's kind of weird. But that can't come in there. I think a pair of the 5s must exist as a pair. I think that is a limitation that is going to be in place here. It's just which 2? That blocks in the 6, so it can't be those. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't be that. Can't be that. Could be this. 1, 2, 3, 4, no. 4, 5, no. Can't be that. Can't be that. One, 2, 3, 4, no. There's not that many groups of 5s that can exist together. 1, 2, 3, 4, no, no. Alright, I'm gonna really start min-maxing this now. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right. 1, 2 is not valid. 1, 3 is not valid. 1, 4 is not valid. 1, 5 is not valid. 2, 3 is not valid. 2, 4 I don't think is valid. Two, 4, 2, 5 we've decided is not valid. 3, 4 does not seem to be valid. Well, this could be possible, except that can't exist as a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. 3, 5. 3, 5. Can't exist. 4, 5. Can't exist. I'm lost now. I can't see it. Can't see it at all. Right, we need one more. So, let's give this a serious look. It's only a difficulty 3. Can't be that, because that leaves that box left over. Therefore, it is my belief that these must all be some type of parallel line. Those are going to do that. These are going to be dead ends. Excuse you. Box around that one, box around that one. That has to do that. That has to do that, but that leaves you unable. That leaves you as a box. How do I get the other boxes out? Because these can't take a corner. How? Assuming that this is correct, I don't see how we get out of that side. Oh wait, you take that, and you do that. Okay, okay. I like it. Then... Nice. There is our non-boxy gold glinting. What pretty light dappling through the ground. So, we have this one that my brain can't get into. This one we could look at for a minute. And then this is probably going to be victory lap, although we'll do this one, and then because this is currently a shorter episode, we'll see if I can do anything with that other one. This has to go out, that has to go out, that has to go out. That has to go out. This has to do that, I think. And gain this, and gain one more of something. Probably this one, because that one would make that be incorrect. How do I make you exist but not as part of a box? That's a great question. Couldn't be that. Could be that. Hello. That looks tidy, doesn't it? Nice. Okay. We got that one. That was the 5 regions. This one breaks my brain. Alright. Perhaps instead... there is no new mechanic for us here. Which is interesting. Or here. So next time, we have to backtrack to here. Then presumably we will do this region. And after we get that at least silvered on this one, between this, this, and this will then open up more of this, which will be exciting. But there is a 7 over here with my name on it. Non-boxy areas with Geminis and deltas. Areas can share numbers. And it looks like they're going to have to, because, for example, this 6 cannot do that and leave this 6 with its own area. So immediately we know something, and that something is at least this. It could be that. It could be that. It could be that. But we know at least this is true. It can't be this, because that would leave a 1. If this 3 is to be true, and not a box, and not this, then I suspect that 3 must be that, and this 6 is going to be this. Do I foresee any other way of doing this? That 3 can't be straight down. This wall is fixed, so we can't leave a gap. I think that's a lovely start. Can we do something similar on the bottom right corner? Because it can't be this, because that's a box. So we have to take something out. If it's this, it means that it can't be that, because that's a 1. So we can take this out and put it there. We might take this out and put it there. But it can't be a straight shot 6, because that would then be a different box. So I think these 5 are for sure. But that means this would have to do that for a 5, which it hypothetically could with that. That looks very nice to me right now, to get both of those Geminis done so tidily. But let's just think about this otherwise, because it could be that and that, except the 5, hold on. This can't be this. It might be that. It might be that. So these must exist. Therefore, this must take that. Doesn't have to take this, but can't take that. Something else has to take this region. This 5, even if that was there, would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leaving these unattached. Therefore, I like that even more after actually studying it a little while. That feels like some solid ins to the puzzle, if all of this is correct. And right now, I don't have a specific reason to doubt myself. Lots of vague reasons, like how often I go charging off into a puzzle and get it wrong, but feels okay. This 4 can only exist in one way, and it can't block in this 6. It can't do this. Therefore... Wait. What was the one way I thought it would exist? Oh no. How does this 4 exist? Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that because the 3 is then siloed. Oh no. I've only gone and broke it. Did I break this whole deduction because of that 4? Right, this can't be a 2x2. Therefore, 1 has to come out. And it can't be this one, it can't be that one. So this is either 4 and 2, or 4 and 1 and 1. If it's 4 and 1 and 1, this 5 needs to exist. It could do that, and that could do this. That would be an alternate way for that to be viable, which then lets the 4 be viable and get out. That lets the 3 get out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because if any part of that goes to the right, we create a negative space island. Right. Just as I was saying that I thought everything was going great and then I realized it wasn't, but we might have corrected for that. Now this has to be different than this 3. Presumably, it can be anything extra to this, or it could even be that in some manner. This tile must touch that tile, and then how it resolves from there is a bit ambiguous because it could be some version of that or something. This has to be a hook to match. Mustn't miss this delta here. Alright, let's go looking at some other stuff. I've got another worry right now in that if I do this as 5, that ends up as a box in the corner. Well, we can do other regions, right? So it would have to be that, although then I can't do... I could do just that, and then this 5 would have to join that 5 to be a region. Doesn't look super pretty, but it could be valid. But now I'm really in like the, was my logic here good to make this good? Which is always scary. Especially on a difficulty 7 puzzle. This doesn't look great because if this is a 4, it's straight. If this is not that, then that is dead. Okay, that's all dead to me. Let's just double check I'm happy with this corner then, because that I've clearly tried twice now and been wrong both times. We can't do this. This needs to then come out. This can't be a negative space. If this came out as well, that would be a 3 in a straight line. Therefore, this 3 makes a hook. And that 6 makes a pyramid. I'm happy with that. Where else can we inject ourselves into this puzzle? This cannot be a 6. Therefore, this could come to there. That could come to there, which means at the minimum... Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 means this 3 gets trapped in. So, this at minimum. And that's 4. Because it can't be that. We just decided. So, this 4 is given. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or wait. This 4 is given. It could be 5, 6. Could it? Hypothetically, it could, though this didn't go great last time. No, it can't be that high. So I think that has to be that. Because this can't go... this tile can't go there and make a 2x2. And this tile can't go there and make it that long, because this has to get out And this 4 leaves that 5 unable to get out and trapping that 3. So, put a box around that. This 5 must take that tile. What about this shape? Is that a shape that I can even make under here? I don't think it is, because it would have to do that, leaving a 1. But there's like, I've tried the T, I've tried the C. So let's look for something else more concrete. What might that be? Great question. This must take part of that. This and this have to choose sides. This 5 can't be this, because that 3 would be a straight shot. Not allowed. This must come to here. How else can we get to this? But it doesn't have to. We tried that before. That can't work because we can't mirror that shape in here without leaving a straight shot across the bottom. Can't do that because it leaves a 1er. Can't do that because it leaves a 1er. The T feels like the only thing that I can do. That leaves that as a rectangle. Right, this 6 has to get out to here. This 3 can't be straight. So if it hooks this way, this 6 must get out to there, therefore this 4 must get out to at least here. That can't be straight. Is there any other way this can go? This 3 can't go down to there. It can only take this tile. If it does, it takes that. That takes this. That 4 is trapped. Therefore, this 3 cannot take this tile. But if it's going to be a hook that can't go that way, it either has to do... It has to do that. That leaves that as the 4. This is a 6 that goes up. That has to be different to that. Could you not, please? That has to come up. That has to come up. That has to come up and across. Now I'm in very similar territory to where we struck out previously, and that frightens me. Because the only way I made this work was to do this. Maybe that shape is what I needed here. That lets this 5 get out differently. Maybe I could have just backtracked a little and remade this shape, but because I had been doing that, which left this as a 4 straight, which couldn't exist. But that sets that as a 5. That lets this be a 4 hook that can exist. That has to come out to there and just be different to this, which shouldn't be a problem. This 5 might pick up that, but it must pick up 1, 2 of something else. This is going to be either that to match the 3, that to match the 3, or that to match the 3. But it means it's not going to be part of this 5. So this 5 must come out 1 further, and then it might take this one, it might not. And it might take that one, and it might take that one. But this 5 of this is set +1. So this 4 has to take at least this one, possibly this, but not this and that, because then those end up the same and they have to be different. Could be this and that. Then the 5 there, and that makes a T shape instead. That could be viable. Could do that. So there's lots of options for what that can do. Can we carry up on that top edge? The only thing this can't do is that, because it would match this and leave a 1er, and we know it's not going to leave a 1er. So that leaves us quite wide options as to what might want to get copied on that side of that. Like, there's a lot of options there. Not this one. I mean, technically it could be that, which is terrifying. It's not the first time we've come across that possibility. Let's look at this 4 for a second. Can't do that, because that's a square. If it does this, then that 5 picks that up. If it does this, then that 5 picks those up. Can't go to that square, would have to do that. How do I feel about that? Medium. Medium with a side of lacking knowledge. Or lacking logic. Alright, I'm reasonably happy with everything we have here so far, because I haven't kind of just started going off on a whim. But what I don't have now is where to next take a solid bit of logic. I know this is going to be different to this no matter what shape we make, so that might as well just not exist. This has to be different than this 4. So this 4 can't do that. Can't do that. Could do this with then a T or something there. However, this resolves then, if that goes to like 5 and 4, has to resolve with a mirror on this side, which no matter how that resolves, does not seem like a difficult thing to do. This still needs to be a 3. If this is going to be 5 plus 1, which is either that one, or that one, this can either be this or this. If it's this, then that would have to come down because we can't leave the solo island. If it's this, then that would go up. Then I'm just on a bunch of paths going, which way does it go? I do know that this and this are going to be the same. This is like a matched pair. Doesn't really help me, I think. That must come to there. What else can I do? Because right now, everything else that I can do feels like guessing. This 4 can't make an L with that 4. This 5 becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't do that. Can't do that. We can't then match that shape on both sides. So that 5 can't come down to there. If this is a T shape, then this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could do that. Can't do that. If you do that, then this could be this or this. It just seems like there's so many options for all of that stuff. You know? I don't get out of here with sound logic. It's just lots of guessing. Back down to this 5. If it were this, it would have to be that, which leaves a straight line, which cannot be. It would be that, which leaves a straight line, which cannot be. That leaves a straight line that cannot be. There's no version of this shape here that lets this out on a non-straight line. That can't be a 2. So I'm back to thinking this has to be a T. Because there's no version of a 5-piece shape that can match on the opposing side without leaving a rectangle. If that's true, then this is 1, 2, 3, possibly 4. This couldn't be 3 and 3, because it would leave a rectangle. Couldn't be 3 and 3, because it would leave a rectangle. So it would have to be 4. Could be 5. Couldn't be 5, because it has to have a match on the opposing side. If this diagonal goes this way, here's a great thought. Scratch that for a second. If this diagonal goes that way, this has to make a diagonal. Oh no, this has to not be a diagonal, which means that can't be the 3, which means that has to be the 3. And this has to be something else, because that would be the same as this. If this is the same as that, which would be... So that wouldn't be allowed. So that 3 would have to do this. Can I fill in everything south of this line validly with what remains? That would have to be an L. That would have to be an L. That would be a region of 6, which is not enough. So if that goes that way instead and that picks up that, then that can go that way. That picks up an L. But then this can't pick up an L without leaving a 1. That can do 3s. And then... what? This is all coming crumbling down, isn't it? This is 8. But I don't want that to be the same, because it makes that not work. This has not been fruitful, I fear. Oh, this is a toughie. This is a toughie. So that's the only way we can do 2 4s. How do I then do this 3? That makes 6, it doesn't go. Oh! I'm still not completely sold on this T. Four and 4. 3. 5. 3 and 3 don't go. I don't know where I've lost it. And at this point, that worries me. I was so reasonably happy about this 6, but I can't get the 5 to resolve out. Without being the T. I just don't see the rest of it. I was so happy up till now. This goes that way. That has to go that way. That has to go to there. Wait, does that resolve? That resolves. How did I miss that? Okay. So, 5 goes to there. The 4 can't do this because it matches that. It can't do that because it leaves a 1. So the 4 goes to there. Alright, now the bottom does make sense. I don't know how I missed this resolution, but we figured it out in time. Right, this has to come to here. It has to be either part of that 4 or this 5. If it's part of this 4, this 5 can't resolve. So this has to be part of this 5, which is probably going to be that then. That means this 4 needs to match this piece. Can't do that because it leaves negatives. So it'd have to be this way or that way. So can't resolve that yet. There's not much of this puzzle left. Now that we got that, there's just this corner. This 4 can't do that because it matches. Therefore, the only other way... I mean, technically we could make it massive. So maybe there is that to think about. There's not tons left. So this has to be part of a hook. Can't be that because it makes a oneer. Could be that. Could be that. No, this has to be part of that. So this has to be part of 4. This has to match the Gemini. If this did this to be 4, that would do that and leave a oneer. So this 4 has to be part of this Gemini. But it could be that way or that way. So far. If it went this way, this would go that way and match that. So I think this is going to be that and that. This is now different to this. This is now the same as that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice! We really had to suss it out down here for a bit, but once we got that piece there, we really got it. It's just this guy left, but like my brain could not find the in. So, non-boxy, 33 plus 2. Solid 2 parts spent getting through non-boxy. For now, that is going to be everything. We'll do that other puzzle on our eventual, as I'm calling it, victory lap. Next time, it's going to be this for the size separation. For now, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.